Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and this is my next edition in the Filmsagram Movie Club, and third film from Master of Suspense Alfred Hitchcock. It's Dial M for Murder. So this is actually a film that I had to watch, as I had never seen this one before, and it's starring Grace Kelly, who is also in Rear Window, and is by far the biggest name in this film. You also have some other actors, including Ray Milland, Robert Cummings, John Williams, and this tells a story of a man who is trying to murder his wife and then turns into his plan of framing her for murder. And this, after watching this film and having seen some of Hitchcock's best films, this one definitely feels a little bit below some of the other ones. You can definitely tell that Hitchcock directed this very well, had a great handle on the direction of the film, and really added a layer of suspense that might not have fully been there, as from how the story turns out, I never was really surprised about where it was going, and that kind of takes away some of the tension from it. And also, Hitchcock did his best to stage this film in a way that felt cinematic, but really, it felt like I was watching a play. And that's a hard transition for a lot of films. Like recently, The Boys in the Band struggled with that very thing. You also had Fences that Denzel Washington brought to the big screen. And one of my biggest issues with that was the film really never felt like I was watching a film. It kind of just felt like somebody was videotaping a play. And there's a difference there. And definitely this film had that kind of feel to it. There's long periods of time where it's just sitting around talking, and actually a lot of expositional dialogue in this film felt a little wearing over time. And there's definitely some points, especially towards the end of the film, where they kind of really spell things out. And I'm not going to go say that all of Hitchcock's films don't have some glaring flaws in them. It's just like they're, especially towards the end of Psycho, there's some like really obnoxious exposition heavy scene towards the end that really wants to explain everything for you. And honestly, like say The Birds, I have a lot of trouble connecting with The Birds the first half of the film, as I was never really drawn in by this romance, and so there's aspects of his films that feel a little lacking, and Dial M for Murder definitely has those moments that feel like it's overtly telling us things. It's a little slow and could have used a little more energy and a little more impact, tension, suspense injected into it. But in general, Hitchcock does a really good job of technically putting this film together. And there's some fine performances. Grace Kelly, though, especially when she's on screen, she brings another level of energy and presence into the film. And there's some other good performances in this, but I don't feel like any of the other performances really hit that level of energy. It's not like her bouncing off of like a Jimmy Stewart, but it's a solid cast who do really well. The story is intriguing, and even if it wasn't the most surprising, I still enjoyed the ride. And honestly, anything that's like B-level Hitchcock is still A-plus work for most directors. So in general, Dial M for Murder is another really solid, well-done, well-crafted, put-together suspense thriller from the master of suspense himself, Alfred Hitchcock. Might not be quite where some of his other films are, but I still think that it worked really well, and I enjoyed myself watching Dial M for Murder. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.